Good afternoon. Welcome to Behind the Scenes. I'm the Baroness. You are on with my co-host, the most fabulous Fuzzy McFuzzy, the thing we found in the dryer, the hairiest
Lint?
man in the cage.
Is that my name? Am I Lint? Did I guess it right? Do I get to pass go? Or
The
am I
thing
going to
that
jail?
your cat or dog leaves on the floor.
Hairball.
Hairball.
Well, cats cough up hairballs because they keep licking themselves, and then the hair gets compiled into their throat and esophagus, and they throw it back up.
And that's what you look
As a
like after
gift for you.
training.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate
it's
that.
slimy and hairy. That's what you look like after training.
And full of other people's sweat.
And full of
yes.
other people's sweat, yes.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much. The introductions get better and better for me every week.
I am
appreciate
doing my
that.
best. So we've got a lot going on in Hollywood. Hugh Jackman is showing an ounce of common sense and backing off of Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds.
Was he attacking them in the first place?
No. He was being he's friends with them. But after the Justin Baldoni thing,
So
he's gotten smart enough to put his career first and stop backing morons.
Well, he did kind of torture for a minute, cheating on the wife who built him. Right?
Yeah, he did. He cheated on the wife that built him. He then got with this other woman with the help of Blake Lively and her husband.
No, come on.
Ryan Reynolds.
They had something to do with him getting with the Broadway chick.
They did.
And not the fact that they were just hanging out all the time.
Oh, no, they were
show.
hanging out all together. But the reality is they were friends with Deborah Finesse. So they were helping him cheat by covering it up.
I hate learning about all this shit with Ryan Reynolds because I really like the guy. I like his character. I like the face he puts out there, his humor. I really do. So I hate learning all these shitty things about him. Like, come on, guy. Why are you helping your friend continue or create an affair? What are you doing?
Because he doesn't. So it's priorities. It comes down to priorities. Who do you care about? What's most important to you? In Ryan Reynolds' case, it's not integrity, it's not honesty, it's not anything. It's, I'm going to try and blow up Justin Baldoni's career to get control of this film and back my dumbass wife who has sued multiple people for the same thing.
Ryan is so big, right? That guy carries Marvel movies himself.
Oh, no, for sure.
He doesn't need to do any of this.
He doesn't, but his wife is a moron. And he's backed the wife.
They could both quit today.
They could,
and
but most actors have a deep need for fame.
I know they do. I know. I get it. We're okie dokie.
They have. I had a sticker.
I found some stickers.
So they have a deep need for fame and attention.
That's why they put themselves in those positions.
That's it. Right now, he is Immigrant of the Year on Forbes. Yeah, he's from Canada. He's Immigrant of the Year. He's on Forbes magazine. They're talking about
what a category for.
But that's it. It's across the cover.
Okay.
And what they're missing is the super important thing of, I get it. Yes, he's an immigrant. I'm an immigrant, but I already spoke English. I had a foothold here. It was, I got citizenship.
Didn't Ryan speak English?
Yes.
Coming from Canada?
That's the whole point.
Okay.
And so it's not like coming over from Taiwan. It's not like coming over for Cambodia during the purging. It's not like coming here with nothing.
Well, hold on. Do you have to come from a place with higher struggle or strife just to be considered?
But I'm saying if you're Immigrant of the Year,
yeah,
like, cool. Yeah, I get it. You're like super successful. This is the first time they've done this. They picked Ryan Reynolds.
I do think
not like Malala, not the chick that was shot trying for an education. Not and don't get me wrong, these are bought and sold.
I was going to say, did he buy his position?
I'm sure the PR team reached out. They put Ryan Reynolds on because he sells.
Yeah, he does.
If you put somebody who genuinely did it, like a person that's bigger than him, that did better than him, Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey came here, lived in his car.
Where's Jim Carrey from?
Canada.
Oh, he's also from Canada.
Yep.
Okay.
Came and lived in his car. And did all of that until, the Wayans brothers gave him a shot.
Yeah, but then he also came out this year and people think he's like some kind of weird alien clone of himself.
Yeah, apparently aging is just not a thing that happens in Hollywood. I
don't know how they were going to put him on the cover at that point.
But that would have added to the story.
And it would have sold.
It probably would have sold more, not less. But Ryan Reynolds sells more. They picked him because it'll sell the magazine.
Yeah, that's
And the reality is that's what matters. People aren't worried about what isn't. They're worried about what is.
Well, we're all worried about. I think, as in general population, we love a story. We love someone we can follow, love someone we can back, and we don't want to be sold anymore. So authenticity, real things happening matters to us. That said, I don't see why Ryan Reynolds.
Hang on, that's because trust is dissolved.
Sell.
That is because trust is dissolved. We have a phone in our pocket that convinces us all the time that things are a good idea that aren't.
I'm convinced it's listening to me.
It is.
Yeah.
We know that. But it's about trust. It is just straight up about trust.
It is. Okay, fair enough. And people, I would think more people would have trust in, like I said, Jim Carrey than Ryan Reynolds, but after this last year, probably not.
Yeah, that's the thing. But even if they did, it's about who's going to sell those papers. And that's going to be Ryan Reynolds. You can love him, you can hate him. He's bankable. His wife, probably ex-wife, because if he has to choose between her and his career, I think he'll have the common sense.
At this point, I think he's choosing the wife.
Oh, that's
I
so
really
stupid.
do think he'd throw away his career. Now, I think
he's so delusional. He doesn't think he's gonna lose.
That's it.
He's gonna end up losing both. He's gonna end up losing his wife, and he's gonna end up losing his career. Blake Lively is a serial cheater. So when she finds a guy that can pull her out of this mess,
is she?
Yes.
I thought she just had a thing with Baldoni, and that's why they're all
she had a thing for Baldoni. But no, she's cheated on multiple people. She's cheated with multiple people. Ryan Reynolds was married to Scarlett Johansson when he got
fucking fumbled that.
Yeah, right. Your choice is Scarlett Johansson or Blake. I look like a man, horse, Lively.
Wow, that's some hate.
I'm just saying, she is.
I understand by comparison. I get it.
She's a butterface. Like, she's got a great physique, but yeah, but her face, you know, the giant mole in the middle of her face.
Some people are into that. Clearly, Ryan.
All I do is look when she talks, and I see the mole move up and down.
Okay, we're going from actual criticism to like schoolyard bullying.
No, I'm saying I look at Cindy Crawford. She's got a mole on her mouth. I do not see a problem with that. I think she's gorgeous.
Okay, so what's the diff?
Blake Lively like half covers it, half leaves it out. Like, if you're gonna leave it out, leave it out. If you're gonna cover it, cover it. What was that weird noise?
That was an alert for an endocrinologist.
Excellent. Like, should be at the endocrinologist.
Yes, the producer of the show.
The producer of the show has been violently ill.
For a while.
Yeah, we're really hoping that she's okay. It's been a big concern. But yeah, I guess I look at it like, I agree. You get a choice between Scarlett Johansson and Blake Lively. You take Blake Lively, you fumble that ball. Blake Lively has always been Hollywood's mean girl, so I have no qualms kind of being a bitch about her, because it doesn't matter how much I put at her, I cannot hand back half of what she's said. Like, if you get a chance, Google Blake Lively racist comments, Blake Lively prejudice comments, Blake Lively mean girl comments. She made a joke about her, and this is back on her very first gigs. She made jokes about her co-star being born in prison, and she was. And she tried to get everyone to side with her.
I think I do remember hearing stories about that.
She's consistently been mean. Consistently.
Was she valuable enough to the projects?
Yes, to a degree. They covered it up.
Okay.
But the reality is that was in the age when you covered things up. Since the internet's become so big, you can't cover up what a bitch she is. I'd like to remind everyone, every time we use bad language, we give money to the Boys and Girls Club of America, the Humane Society of America, and free MMA.
We swear because we care.
And because Blake Lively sucks.
And because Blake Lively sucks. I think going back to what you said originally about Hugh Jackman, probably the wisest decision right now to back away. Should have backed away when this whole controversy with Baldoni's movie came about, but at least he's doing it now.
I think the reality is America has a selfishness epidemic.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Everyone is about themselves. Everyone is about their phone. Everyone's about them.
That's social media. If social media didn't happen, that wouldn't be the case right now.
One of the most countries that show the most familial piety are places like Japan, China. They're not even doing that anymore.
I get hit in the head a lot. What is paella?
Family loyalty.
Okay, family loyalty.
The countries that show the most of that. Ironically, that was a conversation I was having in my personal life today. The countries that show the most of that are places like Japan, China, and they're seeing a reduction. These are countries where usually you live with your family until you get married, but your family is part of, involved in who you choose, what you do. It's considered a group project.
I do think that can breed some rather toxic behaviors, though.
Yes, I know.
You don't need your mother and father's voice in every decision you make because you live with them.
It's not just that. It is about what's good or bad. They are not going to say pick this one, but they're also, if they're saying, hey, this is a bad idea, like,
no, definitely heed the advice. They've lived longer.
No, agreed, but it's more than that. I got engaged. Yeah, I'm going to ask a question. When you and I got involved,
yes,
I did not get involved with you without involving my child, meaning getting her
Most
opinion.
people are going to
Do
disagree
you
with
think
this,
that
so
is
you
a
need to
bad
explain it
idea or a good
better.
idea? You've lived it. She's off camera, but you can hear.
It depends on how long you've known the person, like, and if you want it to go anywhere.
I'm looking at a permanent partnership.
Yeah, involve your kid.
See?
Kids have better judge of character than most people, especially if it's coming from an outside force, and especially if it's coming from somebody who already has trouble bonding with people, who have.
Well, we're talking about
like,
we're talking about abstract. We're talking about Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds.
My only conflict with this is how soon do you? I would not. This is so off topic now from Hollywood. I would not introduce the child until a significant amount of time later.
And you shouldn't. But I do believe the same as I wouldn't bring someone in my life that's problematic. In this case, you've got Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively making these choices that are affecting multiple people.
Yeah.
So once that happens, at what point, where's the line? The expectation is, okay, I'm bringing this person in my life, so I'm going to give you the courtesy of having a voice because it affects you. Should you have the right to bring people in and affect people without them having a choice?
I will agree with that. I don't think that you should basically let this person, if it's going to be to the detriment of someone else who's involved in what's happening, or could be their benefit either way, they should be involved. Basically, if it's going to affect them, yes, they should be aware of what's happening.
See, Kimmy, thank you. You won the debate for me. But yeah, you should not be bringing in people in this case into Hugh Jackman's orbit that are going to screw up his life without consent. He's chosen to bring these people in, and he's screwing up his life, and that's cool.
And he's backed off now.
And he's backing off because Blake Lively fucked up Ryan Reynolds' life, who has fucked up Hugh Jackman's life, and Hugh Jackman would not face the criticism for his new affair and partner if people weren't already pissed off at him over the Jason Baldoni thing. Taylor Swift, part of the reason Taylor Swift is getting married is to dodge the whole Blake Lively thing. She didn't even invite Blake Lively to her wedding.
I think she likes what's-his-face enough to marry him, though. That's got to be a very side piece of it.
The timing. They held on to those wedding photos, the engagement photos. They took them months before. They held on to them.
Suspicious.
Yeah, they had been engaged for months. They'd planned to secretly get married, then release everything later. This was the media plan. She's done this a million times.
Yeah, Taylor Swift is
a genius. But when this became a problem, she went, okay, let's release the engagement photos now. But the whole point was she was doing an album, and the album was the dating, the engagement, the wedding. Okay. And she held back all these photos, and that was the point for this album. And she got desperate enough and smart enough. Hats off to Taylor Swift. She's one of the smartest people I've ever known.
It's crazy when you look at her career too, because she's not that old in the industry. Early 2000s to 20-ish years, basically in total being in entertainment.
No. She's been in since she was 13. She started in country, and she's
only 40-ish right now.
Would somebody look up how old? Tell us how old Taylor Swift is.
This is not worth
No, come on, this is, and I'll do my giveaway. Tell us how old Taylor Swift is, and we will give you a giveaway. No, an ATV ride at Off-Road Rentals in Palm Springs, California, and make sure you are following Bear Fiorda as he is doing a free trip to California again. Why do you keep just bringing people out to punch them? He flies you in to punch you. Run.
For high milestones. In this case, when we hit 1 million subscribers on YouTube, which we're nearly halfway there. We'll be halfway. I think we'll be halfway there.
This is on his personal social media.
I think we'll be halfway there within the next month. And so when we get to 1 million subscribers, I fly out whoever meets the criteria of the competition, which I'll figure it out.
37.
Now they can't win.
Sure,
I told you this wasn't a good
bit. Oh my God, fine. We've got Gabriel Cannon on. We'll let him pick the thing. And Kimberly, you give us something. We are comparing America to Japan. She is a Japanophile, for those that do not know.
Have to wait for Gabriel Cannon to come on.
Exactly. When Gabriel Cannon comes on, please let us know. You're going to text Lex and make sure we get in. You're a Japanophile. Okay. Japan is having a fit because familial piety is disappearing. Basically, because of social media, it's becoming about me versus the we, right? Something we've talked about, something you've seen in Australia. It's a huge thing. You've experienced I will not bring this person in my life without your consent. That's a line. I have my direction, you have your direction. That's an across the board for the family. Japan is now saying, they're putting in laws that now say if the parents there's always been laws that say parents have to help the kids, kids have to help the parents, right? If parents do not like or want the partner, they do not have to financially engage or even engage with the children anymore.
Well,
That actually cuts the line.
If they're legal adults, they shouldn't have to do that.
There are laws in
anyways.
Australia too, and many other countries, that you have to take care of your elders. There are also laws that if, for example, Kimberly was in school, from high school to the end of college, I would be legally in Australia considered financially responsible. As long as she's in continuing and studying, I would be legally responsible to care for that. So the minute she breaks or doesn't do, that ends.
So your
it's
child
not when
can
you go
be-
back.
So your child can be 21, 22 years old, and you still legally, not because you want to, but legally required to support them.
As long as they have had a continued education.
Yeah, that's
yes,
what I mean.
yes, 100%. Because it's considered, if you don't, and they've got these good grades and they've got this good future, you're handicapping them.
So
and
I
if
could
you can't,
sue
you could
my
do.
parent if that's. If
Yes,
they
you can
choose
also
not to-
sue your children for not taking care of you in old age. It really is part of the culture. You guys, tell me the name of that law. Put it in on our Facebook. Do you want to
on our
text
Facebook
Alexis
at
about?
TuneIn BTS everywhere.
And I don't know. We're supposed to have Gabriel Cannon on. Lex said he's calling in now. Kimberly, sorry, we didn't get to the question.
We're
She
making
won
our
my
child
last.
answer
I
a
know.
lot
She
of
won my
questions
last
today.
argument with you, so I'm undo this.
Sure.
So I'm using
not
her.
even
She's
arguing with
outsmarting
you. What's
you.
the
You did
debate?
the first time.
What is
So,
the debate
hang
about?
on. So with familial piety and the change in Japan, they said the biggest problem is it's affecting the anime and manga industry because that's always been family based.
Are you sure?
Yes.
I feel like when they use it to essentially get away with kiddie pornography, that it's not.
They're
really
not talking about that
child-based.
kind of thing.
That's-
They're not talking about that kind of thing because
But it's
culturally,
in
that's
the
always been a
culture.
part of the manga. Yep, and we're not talking about hentai. The whole point is they're saying it's actually affecting the
Rely on
industry
YouTube. I don't
because
know
it's
if all this is okay
ruining
or not.
the storylines because there's no family loyalty.
Well, even the worst of the worst.
I'm gonna hand this to her so she can hear. She's not dressed for camera, or I'd call her on.
Even the worst of the worst of like anime, manga, even down to the inappropriate ones, like not the ones about the kids,
porn,
but the
You
ones.
can't. We're on YouTube. I don't know if you can say that.
adult entertainment.
But even let's go yaoi because that's just same sex.
Drawings,
Yeah.
animations.
The
But-
audience will look it up. I'm sure.
Look up yaoi. It's actually
No,
really
we
cool.
don't endorse
Hang
it.
on.
I'm
No,
just
yeah,
saying.
no,
they
yaoi's
fucking-
actually really
South
good.
Park did an amazing episode on that with Butters and Craig. If you get a chance, look up the yaoi episode with Butters and Craig. It's one of my favorites, and it was
Anyway.
based on fan fiction.
Anyway, even down to like stuff that isn't typically approved of in Asia, it's still very family oriented. It's still very, does this person come from a good family? Does this
Right.
person,
Okay.
like, how do they treat their family? How do they treat their parents? How, like, what's their education? It's very much family oriented. And you can see that even in the worst of the worst.
Even in Australia, one of the first things my brother said to her is, if you meet a boy there, the first thing we need to know,
Is who's the family.
that's it. That is very, very much a thing because it's not just you dating; it's your whole family, and it affects your whole family.
Yeah,
So
I
they're saying-
understand.
Reputation.
I understand.
Reputation and everything. And it is destroying manga because if you think about it, the newer generations, like as progressive as the new generation is, I love it. But at the same time, they are ruining certain things that don't need to be changed and don't need to be subjected to this nonsense that even I deal with on a daily basis.
Yeah,
Well,
she
I'm glad
has
to have
deal with
perspective of the
respect
new
your family
generation.
Stuff. She's an adult; she has to deal with it.
It's not just down to respecting, it's about who I date, who I hang out with.
Yeah.
It's
Mhm.
It affects, and especially with you being on camera.
We're both on camera, love.
Yeah, no, but I'm behind the camera and also I'm a bitch.
you're
So
on
nobody
but
cares
you're
what I
on
do.
camera and behind the camera.
Well,
You're
speaking of
both.
someone who is also both on camera and behind the camera, do you want to bring our guest in?
She just won that argument for me too.
We weren't arguing.
Okay, Kimberly, I would
We were
like
on
to
the
let
same
everyone know
fucking
you can
page.
follow Kimberly on Let Earth Grow. She has a whole page. It's fantastic where she
Dedicated
talks.
to animal and animal information.
Yep. And when you follow us here, she handles the social media for this. So it's her you're giving money to. So if you like her kicking his ass on radio and television, please support the channel. I'd like to welcome to the show Gabriel Cannon. Welcome, darling.
How y'all doing? How y'all doing?
Oh, fantastic. We were debating familial piety in manga. and I couldn't win, so I brought in a teenager.
Great tactic.
Yes, I do the same thing when I have to win a social media argument with my partner. It's the moment I'm like, we have our child. She's going to make me right because she's a teenager. She knows more about. She's just
Got to do
more
it.
about this than I do.
All right, I'll let it go. It's cool.
That's it.
Well, sir,
now, welcome to the show. Can you tell everyone a little bit about yourself? I know we have your bio. I know we have your info. But for those that do not know, he is one of the most charming people I've seen. We went to an event last week. I was watching you from a distance, which sounds super creepy. But I was watching you and talking about you. And I was speaking with Cassandra Cooper. She was talking about a couple of different shows for you. And we just watched you walk through like a bumblebee. You were charming the hell out of everyone. I've never seen anything quite like it, to the point where Alexis went chasing after him. And then last week, while I'm in talking about a TV show, she hasn't even asked him. And she's like, pitch him for the show. So
Right.
I do have to disclose to y'all, I already pitched him for a show.
I'm ready.
Without his consent. Like,
well, maybe we'll get it now.
yeah, he said I'm ready. Y'all heard that? Like it's legally binding.
Let's do it. I'm excited. But
Perfect.
yeah, I'm Gabriel Cannon, man. 1/5 of the Cannon brothers. My older brother's Nick Cannon. I was able to, live the behind the scenes, in the shadow, celebrity relative life. But then I got on a show called Claim to Fame on ABC, hosted by the Jonas Brothers, and end up winning that show. So I just been behind the scenes, watching. I was able to shoot the behind the scenes from Wildin' Out season 1. I got my comedic timing from watching guys like the Kevin Harts, the Cat Williams, and just, from the whole comedic world. But, also got to be signed to Def Jam and tour with Mariah, of course, because my brother married her. But,
I do have to say, I know your brother, and everyone talks about how charming he is. I've still never seen him work a room like you. No insult to him. He's a very nice
clipping
man.
that.
You're better.
I'm clipping that and using that for my Instagram reel.
It's like no. It's you really it's really shocking. Like your brother is one of the most charming people I've ever met, and you outdid him, and that really shocked me to my toes. And in the entertainment industry, that ability to charm, oh my God, if I could bottle it.
I love it. I'm gonna tell my daddy that.
You guys do this. Like I hate people. You made everyone think you loved them. He just punches people. He don't care.
I do it until I leave. I'm just joking.
No, I'm going to ask how he does that, because I want to know how to bottle it. If I can sell that, fine.
Go ahead. Then I got a question.
No, you go first.
Oh, you want me to go first? All right, ladies first, I guess. In this case.
Yes, there you go.
I was just curious, growing up in the family that you did were you like on the playground telling all your friends that I'm going to be this Hollywood superstar, or did that kind of come in later in life? Did you have other plans? Is what I'm thinking right now.
Absolutely. We grew up. My dad always had a camera, right? My dad was a former gang member who gave his life to the Lord, and so he had a dramatic change in his life. So we grew up kind of almost militant. My dad wouldn't let us watch TV or anything, but he had this big camera, and so he gave it to Nick and told him to make your own TV. You guys can't watch TV. You got to make your own TV. So we began to be the little actors and producers and doing soundtracks. So our whole life, we were making films or television because we couldn't watch them, not knowing where we would be in Hollywood one day. This was all the way back in North Carolina, and Nick moved to Hollywood, ended up getting famous. But, to kind of answer your question, we were still back in North Carolina when Nick was famous. And as you can see, I'm a little more chocolatey than Nick is, right? So I would go to school with these pictures like, hey, this is my brother. He's famous. He's on Nickelodeon. And people would be like, man, if you don't go sit your little black butt down, like, you know what I mean? And so that was just this dynamic of trying to, prove that this was my brother being so far away from Hollywood. But it also gave us a hunger. When growing up, I used to sleep in the theaters because, my brother's on TV. I want to be there, but these are the only options in North Carolina. So, I would just sleep in the theaters just to learn more, just to, be closer to lights, camera, action. So, yeah, it was a dynamic. And then, we was all, it was 5 of us, 5 boys. So, we would put the weights, a broomstick in the weights and pretend we was the Jackson. And, I would always end up having to be Tito because I couldn't sing that good.
There are certain members, and I don't mean offense. I'm like, when they make you be Ringo, or they make you be Tito, or they make you be the guy that has the cat face. I forget his name from Kiss. Like, those are the members you don't want to be.
Right.
No offense to Tito, very nice man.
We love, rest in peace. We love Tito.
Yeah, I love the Jacksons. They've been wonderful to me. Like, no shade, but come on. Like that's not the person. Like you see that with when people like, we're gonna be the Beatles, yo Ringo.
Right. Yeah, I always had to, but being that default guy, you learn a lot because you're paying attention to everything. So I had to have a guitar and pretend I'm strumming and singing at the same time. So it gave me an extra skill.
I could see you get a little bit of some acting lessons through doing that as well.
Now, is it hard for you? We were talking about family loyalty and familial piety, ironically, at the whole beginning of the show, arguing about manga and anime. With your family, you guys support each other, but you're also a little bit in competition. I mean, you're all kind of in Hollywood.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. You can see that it's a healthy competition. You know, we strongly feel iron sharpens iron. You know, so yeah, the person especially the younger brothers, Nick's the oldest. Like, you know, our whole life we were showing off for my dad and Nick. We're practicing just to show them. If we don't get my dad or Nick's approval, it wasn't good enough. So now being able to, you know, be in the same field, going out for some of the same roles and stuff like that, it's definitely a competition, but it's healthy. You know, but at the same time, you always want Big Bro to see you. You know what I mean? I know you see me out here shaking it up, baby. So yeah, and then to show him that, you know, I got your back in this industry. Like, you know, if Nick ain't gonna do it, call Gabriel. Gabriel will be able to do it. So, you know, it's definitely healthy.
That's good. I like that.
But it's also nice to have loyalty within the industry from those family members, because you know they'll have your back. It can be a very, very rough industry. And if one person's up, they're going to give you a hand and help you up. And that's important too.
Oh, yeah. Somebody fall, you could be each other's crutches. You know, there's nobody really ever down. You know, there's always opportunity. Then being under a guy like Nick, you know, we had to take a DNA test to try to figure out if Nick was half Jamaican because he got so many jobs, man. Like, he got a lot of jobs. Man. Oh and so it's like, you don't know, your daddy might have been somewhere else. But, you know, it's good to be under somebody like that. Because like I said, even when we didn't know, being green, coming straight from North Carolina, our learning curve had to be so quick, you know, because we didn't really get to, you know, I was in a group called Writers and Artists. You know, we toured with Mariah Carey and was signed to Def Jam. But as the group, we didn't start off like a normal singing group would, under the streetlights, shooby-doo-wopping. You know, we got thrust, you know, from starting the group all the way to the front line. We're opening up for Mariah Carey. So, you know, we had to make sure we put on a show that was worthy of opening up for Mariah Carey, but with this brand new group. So you know, our learning curve had to be quick. And
you had it's the NSYNC Pussycat Dolls model, Boys to Men as well. There are certain groups that were built rather than
absolutely
formed. And when you build a group, the level is higher because you're not starting them off. You know, you're not starting off down the local pub.
You know,
right. We didn't have the time to do the Chitlin circuit or all the talent shows.
That's it. You didn't have time to feel each other out. You have to be super professional, super fast, and very clicked up. So that's
right. And make it look like you've been doing this all your life. And make it look like y'all been a group. So yeah, you know, once you get because Hollywood, like that sensationalism that, you know, coming from North Carolina, we didn't get. We thought, okay, you get signed, you buy your mama a big old house, and you know, all the politics that comes with it, you know, we had to learn, you know what I mean? It ain't really about the first deal. You might lose on that one, but be ready for your second one. That, you know, and just, you know, these Hollywood terms, fake it till you make it. And, you know, it was a real fish out of water experience for us at first, for sure.
It's also very much about who you know. And you absolutely have a great start with Nick Cannon and, you know, Mariah Carey at the time and everything. But on the production end, same thing, because you're asking people to take $100 million bet on you, $1 million bet on you. People don't. Right. I'm very careful on who I bet on, because one bad bet, my career is over. I'm not in front of the camera. I'm behind. Absolutely. So one bad investment, I invest, you know, what if I invest Bob Eisner's money wrong, I'm dead. Like,
Right.
that's
Right.
the end. It was nice having a career. See ya.
Right.
So it's a huge risk.
Even
And
with social media, even with like
yes.
protecting the image, like there's things that,
Mhm.
you know, we had to make sure, you know, wasn't on film or we
Yep.
wasn't seen doing, because now we're almost protecting Nick's image. We didn't want no headline, you know,
That's
Nick Cannon's little brother. And I
oh
there is some headlines
Sure.
out there like that about me from way back in the past, but
oh
they were all like, I had to realize how powerful this media was. Like, you know what I mean? When Nick married Mariah, we didn't really grasp, like, you know, the headlines that came with it, you know, and so I would just do little silly stuff and they would just blow it all the way out of proportion. And, you know, they would compare me to some of the most villainous characters in Hollywood. And I was just being a young man trying to get it, you know, but I had to learn
you don't
through
think about
experience
that.
for sure.
Yeah, I think Mariah Carey at that point in time was the largest in the world.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I have he's like elbowing me, my mic's down here. That actually kind of knocked me for a little bit because I didn't think about that. So you're coming into this, your sister-in-law is the biggest singer in the world.
Yeah.
Your brother and sister-in-law are the biggest names. I mean, they were at that point in time bigger than where Kim Kardashian was. They were the tabloid fodder. Your
Right.
brother's all over television. And of course you're going to be compared unfavorably. Like there's no winning.
But then they're also
Oh my
look
God.
for any
I
reason
mean,
to throw the name
exactly, because if they take a picture of
drama.
you, they've now got Mariah Carey and Nick Cannon in that headline.
Absolutely.
So they're going to use the hell out of you. Oh, ouch.
A lot of times they wouldn't say my name. They'll be like, Mariah Carey's brother-in-law. Like they wouldn't even say my name. Like, you know.
That's
so
more
yeah.
insulting. Oh, I'd be mad.
At
I'm
least use my goddamn
insult
name.
me properly.
Yeah.
Insult me properly.
Right.
Oh, so you're so you're Mariah Carey's brother-in-law. You're Nick Cannon's little brother.
Yeah.
That's so. Tell us who you are.
I'm Gabriel Cannon, writer, actor. I got a production company, Cannon Media Group. So yeah, everything stems from writing, you know, creative. But also I have a passion for the community. So what I do in my quote unquote real life, I'm a youth mentor. So I teach like acting. Everything we learned in Hollywood, I'm taking it to the front line of the community. So I'm teaching acting and improv in juvenile halls. So these kids have committed, you know, heinous crimes at young ages, you know, murder, burglary at these very young ages. And a lot of them have juvenile life, which is like up to 25 years old. Yeah. And so, but they're still children. They're still, you know, young kids who's, you know, unfortunately in these circumstances committed these acts. But, you know, they have to have services. They're still in there. And once we remove people from society, us in society, we tend to forget about them, but they're still alive and need services and programs. So I'm going in there. I'm teaching these young, you know, quote unquote wannabe gangsters improv games. So it's a challenge to get these guys who think they're all hard to get up here now and be silly and joking with each other. Some of them be from different neighborhoods and, you know, but to be able to take this tool in there of laughter, of comedy, of improv and acting, you know, I strongly feel like if I'm teaching these kids how to develop a fictitious character, a character that's not real, you know, you understand why he moves. Maybe he was abused as a child. That's why he has this anger issue. And they're developing these characters, but subconsciously, you know, when they understanding why these characters do what they do, they're actually developing and analyzing their own character as they develop these, you know, fictitious characters.
Why do you? I gotta know. I want to ask real quick.
Fine. We're fighting over questions, so that never happens.
Why do you do it? Why is that like a priority for you?
Number one, I've always had my father always had a nonprofit. You know, we got over our fear of people by my dad's nonprofit, Drug for Youth, going selling candy door to door. You know what I mean? So the competition, as you guys were asking about earlier, we would, you know, literally after school, my dad had these big old white vans and take all the neighborhood kids to go selling candy door to door. And, you know, in the hood, like this candy money is helping some of these kids pay their mother's rent. You know, some of their mothers on drugs and, you know, and we didn't realize, but by going door to door selling, we were getting over our fear of people. You know, we were learning that it's a numbers game. The more no you get, the closer you are to that yes. So, you know, my dad was just embedding these gems in us that we didn't even realize we were getting. and that we would have to use later. Like, any stage we're gonna take over because of them days of knocking on them doors and getting rid of people. So my dad always had his hands in the community. And that really was embedded in us to give back, just being those type of people to whom much is given, much is required. And then when Nick becomes famous, it's like, okay, you got this power source. Like, you know what I mean? I could get into any club. I feel like I could get any woman, you know what I mean? Or whatever it might be. All my friends are excited. So it's like, okay, what do I do with this power? I could either build or be a freaking man. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, with this responsibility, okay, why did you put me in this position? And I've seen that people are attracted to, the position, being related to a celebrity. And for me, it was just like, okay, I got to use this for purpose because it wasn't mine to do what I want with anyway,
It's funny. I do
beautiful.
not believe in that kind of incarceration for children. I think when children are violent, we foster. My daughter, for anyone that doesn't know, was adopted. We adopted her at 5. We've adopted multiple children. We foster multiple children. He runs a nonprofit where he teaches martial arts at no cost because he grew up in a rough area. Everyone that dropped out because their parents had to pay rent was gangs, drugs, or dead. So he runs that nonprofit. And I have to tell you, I do not believe in incarcerating children for 25 years when they're 13 and 14. I think that is horrific and I think that should be banned. That said, you teaching them improv is teaching them to put on a face for society, and it's not something they would learn in prison. And that's giving them a tool that will save their life one day. It'll save their life dealing with people incarcerated, and it will save their life getting a job in the future when they have to get out, because that's going to follow them for a very long time. I'm very impressed that you're doing that. That's just a personal note. Did we freeze?
I think we froze with on either Gabriel's end or our end.
Okay.
Hard to tell.
Okay. Well, did we freeze? I need to know. I'm going to ask our sound engineer. Was it us frozen or was it him frozen? And if he's the one that's frozen, when he comes back, don't say I was saying anything nice about him. People can't think that I like people.
We need to develop a back and forth system for our questions and answers. Our sound engineer is saying that he froze, so we're going to get him back on as soon as possible.
I adore him. So I love that he's doing that.
Yeah.
So you and he have a great deal in common.
Well,
you're both
have
trying
the
to help.
nonprofit thing, and my mother's always worked in nonprofits, but albeit for animals, and he's father clearly did it with his community. So I get it where he's coming from, wanting to kind of continue on that, maybe that legacy. I also want to do for the community. Maybe my son will do the same thing, which I'll ask him when we get to that. We'll see. I
find him one of the most interesting people I think I've ever seen. He is smart. He is, for those that don't know, when I say I watch this man work the room, every single person that looked at him was charmed. I sat back. I did not meet him that day. I sat back and I watched him. And this was at the Social Media Awards. And I've never seen people gravitate like that. And I've seen his brother work a room, but he did it better. No insult to his brother. And he charmed every person that spoke to him. And even with him talking now, I have another show that I want to put him in. But he is truly charming. And I find it very, very interesting that he and Bear have so much in common. And it makes you wonder if having, I know I wanted to talk to him about this. I believe he has a martial arts background.
Oh, well, shit. It should have opened up with that. I mean, I didn't know.
No, I was not. I was not having this show turn into another MMA moment.
Why? I mean, what if it's beneficial to the show in some way?
It might be.
Yeah. See, entertainment and numbers and all that.
Fabulous.
Just talk.
You just want to talk about that because he does martial arts.
Well, I'm curious now.
So for those that don't, I love Wild 'N Out. I think isn't that where the comedian that everyone thought was really pretty that got all the plastic surgery? What's his name?
This is Matt Rife.
I believe he came from that.
Well, I think he was on the show. Yes, I don't know if he's got any ties to it now, but at one point, no, that's.
I'd like to point out Gabriel didn't have to have a bunch of plastic surgery to make himself attractive. He was hot. He was already hot.
That's everyone should look up Matt Rife before whatever it was.
Well, he swears there was no plastic surgery.
So here's the thing. You can definitely have some dramatic glow up if you're very young, like 13, and people come back and check on you at like 22.
No. Look at my face. Look at my face. I have Botox.
Look at me. I'm the captain.
I have filler. Yeah, look at me. Look at me. I'm the captain. No, I have all the same work done, except, I know what it takes to look natural.
Mm-hmm. I think we do have Gabriel back on. So
if Gabriel's on, I'd love to have him on. Yeah. Sorry.
Sorry about that.
No,
Hey, it happens.
It's all good.
So we were talking about you, actually. Promise, we were not saying anything nice. It was all horrible. But you have a history of martial arts as well, or boxing. I believe there was some sports. Because that's
Yes,
what he...
ma'am. That's crazy. Y'all know that.
Because Bear is obsessed with sports, and the first thing he asked Alexis when she said you're going to be on the show is, does he do sports and does he do martial arts? And then Bear had gone away, and Alexis was like, oh my God, they're going to talk about martial arts the whole show. Don't bring it up till the end.
You got to. The art of fighting without fighting. Be like water, my friend.
So then I guess I want to know, with everything else you had going on, why jump into boxing?
It was really something that my father kind of started when we were younger. You know, my dad gave us our heroes. It was Jesus, Martin Luther King, Michael Jackson, and Bruce Lee, baby. You know, and so with that, you know, and for there are many different reasons, you know, Bruce Lee because of his strength, but you know, honestly, Bruce Lee was literally on posters on our walls. Like, you know what I mean? His just what he did for his culture, what, you know what I mean? What he did for the martial arts, what he stood for. And so it was always karate.
Oh, we seem to be cutting out again.
I think it might be, well, it's definitely connection, but it held for like 30 minutes. And then now
I have no idea.
Some trouble there.
I wonder if he's on the move or if there's a Wi-Fi issue.
Oh, there is.
Oh, we good?
Kind of.
Kind of.
The image changed for a moment.
Did we break the phone?
That or someone keeps calling him.
That's possible.
That could be it too.
Text Alexis, tell her stop calling him.
Right, can you guys hear me now?
I can
we
hear
got
you
you
now.
back. All
Perfect.
right.
Okay, I think it's the service or something. But yeah, I think because of Bruce Lee, I seen Jake Paul and everything he started doing with the celebrity boxing and all of that stuff. So I had a bunch of skills just in the trunk put up. And so it was like, man, them boys over there making some money. I wonder if I could get into some celebrity combat sports. So that's one of my new endeavors. Of course, you know, like I said, I've been on the front line teaching and doing spin moves and entertainment. So I got to get back in shape. But that's something I definitely want to get into, like some type of celebrity boxing or something.
Man, I got to tell you right now, there are celebrities doing celebrity boxing that don't train at all. So I commend you for wanting to
Ray took his fight without training.
To get in there, man.
Yeah, but you don't seem like the person that's going to do anything halfway. You seem to put yourself 100% into everything you do.
No, absolutely. You know, and like I said, for those who came before me, man, you can't have an older brother like Nick Cannon. Like, you know, he's a jack of all trades. The dude don't know if you want to do comedy, rap, backflip. Like, you know what I'm saying? He don't want to know if you want to be married or be a player. Like,
yeah. Yeah.
Go ahead.
There's nothing he hasn't done. I didn't think that about that, but yeah.
Yeah.
He's been from. The only thing he hasn't done is be the key grip. And I'm saying that, and I guarantee you someone is going to write into the show and send me a picture of when he jumped in and did it one day.
Oh, I got old video footage of him starting off on his public access channel at 12 years old, him being a key grip.
I see.
This is where you leak the videos.
Okay, but that's it. He's done everything. So is it hard to come in his shadow to that degree? Because there are people like my brothers in entertainment. There are people. Then there's my brother's Nick Cannon.
Right. It's definitely a double-edged sword, you know, because it comes with, you know, it comes with the perks. You know, I give people the example of the club example, right? So say there's a club going on, right? And I go up to the club looking like I look, I'm 6'3", and I say, hey, what's up, y'all? I'm here. My brother's Nick Cannon. Can I get in? And I'm like, man, get your big black hands up out of here, right? But if somebody goes before me and be like, hey, we got Nick Cannon brothers in the car. He's done this show, maybe, you know, they'll probably prepare a VIP section. So, you know, so understanding how to play the game, how to do it. I think when I come off, say, hey, I'm Nick Cannon, but I look big and goofy, like, you know, but when people, you know, let other people know, it is a good thing. Like I said, I was able to maneuver with the secret weapon. You know, even I see in the juvenile halls when mentoring the kids, when they find out who my brother is, they pay attention to me a little different. My opinions matter a little more, you know. It's a little wonder there. I know I can tell if I walk in a room and you think you know just Gabriel, if I leave to the room to go to the bathroom and I come back, I can tell if somebody told them if you know who my brother is, because they looking at me like with a little more wonder. Like the same people same room I just left, I can tell because now I can see it in your body language or whatever. So it's definitely a beautiful thing, because you know, when gathering people, when you know, resourcing or outsourcing, but at the same time too, let's say I got a film that I want to, you know, I wrote the script. The script is amazing, you guys. I need you guys. I got a great part for both of you guys, right? These are the parts. You guys would be amazing in it. I know exactly who to take it to. You know, my brother is Nick Cannon, so these executives, I know exactly who to take this script to. Listen, y'all, we're going to shoot this money, but I'm going to have to pay y'all later, right? You might look at me and say, boy, you Nick Cannon, brother, you trying to play me, right? Gabe trying to get us to work for free. Like, you know what I mean? As beautiful as this pitch was, when it comes down to the money, I got to keep reminding people, hey, listen, that's his bank account, not mine.
Well, it's right. Is it hard? Now, you, by the way, have an exceptional reputation. You have a very, very good reputation. And it sounds like it's really difficult, because I get that. People are like, yeah, we'll take your project, but we're coming after you because we want your brother, or because we expect you to have this money attached. Right. You've managed to cultivate your own reputation within that sphere, and a very good reputation. What do you find the biggest drawback of being associated with somebody that big?
It's always a question in your mind, like, what path would you be on without this golden ticket? Like, you know what I mean? Would that have made me more hungry? Like, you know what I mean? I'm hungry now and I got to live up to the standard. But if I didn't have that, would I be more relentless in my pursuit of these dreams? Would I be the checkout guy at the, like, you know what I mean? It just almost is a whole different life, you know, if this thing wasn't here, you know. The people I've dated for sure would have been different. You know,
you think the familiar relation has given you a stronger dating section? That it's funny, that would piss me off. It sounds terrible. I'd be like, what? Do you think that's affected your dating?
In a good way, like
okay. I was like, okay.
But it is hard to trust, like, to tell people's motives and intentions. You know what I mean? There was a time in my life that I was surrounded by people and was completely alone. Like, you know what I mean? I had hundreds of friends, but no true friendships. Like, you know what I'm saying? Everybody was a comedian. Every girl I thought I was in love with, she was just trying to be a wild and out girl. Like, you know, that was literal times when my brother had to, because like I said, I'm from North Carolina, and we was green when we first came out here. Yeah. And I probably ain't supposed to be telling this stuff, but there's literal times where Nick would I would have a girl and I'm in love, like, man, she the one. And he was like, man, watch how I act, watch how she act if I engage her. And I'm like, Nick, yeah, right, man, you can't get my girl, you can't. And he was like, look, bro, I'm telling you, she gonna move. And so there were times he would literally demonstrate. He'll come and put his charm on, and the girl would just go crazy. I'm thinking, this is my boo thing, right? Like, this is my baby. And she would just fan out Nick Cannon. You could tell he could do whatever he want with this one. And he would come back like, I told you, you better keep it playing. And so there was many life lessons that I learned because of that light shining so bright, for sure.
That's, you know, I was thinking throughout this talk right now, like, do you handle all of this, the way you talk about your brother, the way you talk about the golden ticket, you handle all of it so well with so much, like,
so much respect.
But that moment right there kind of tells me a little bit why, because it's not like he's using it in a way that becomes either abusive or malicious towards you. He's giving information, he's giving you a little bit of the ins and outs. It's helping.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
He's giving you loyalty, you're giving him loyalty. That's an important thing.
Absolutely. Yeah. Everything with family, we approach everything family. But even, you know, too, you know, like I said, that double-edged sword, he expects more from his brothers. Like, you know what I mean? I can have a friend come in and my friend just do this thing, and Nick, whoa, that was amazing. We looking like, and I'll come do something, and it's like, 10 times better, but because of the proximity, because this is the guy who trained you how to fish or trained you how to throw that kick, like it ain't that special. So it's like you almost got to do twice as much to be half as good. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Throw that kick. Yeah, I know that experience.
So, well, I'm going to say, why don't you come out? Let's set up for you and Bear to do some sparring. You guys can get online and have some fun together if you're interested in doing that.
I'm ready. Yeah, you got to train me for the celebrity fight, baby.
Perfect. We're doing that. So I'm going to set you and Bear up. Tell everyone where to find you because I know Bear's audience will love you. Where can they find you on social media?
Listen, find me on Bear's Instagram account. We are best friends now. We outside. That's a joke. Gabriel Cannon music, everything. Gabriel Cannon music. I got a project coming out this summer on a music project. We're working on these films, a lot of vertical series. But me and Bear training celebrity fights, baby.
And you know what? I had more questions for you as well. We are at the end of the show, but I want to talk a lot more about your behind the scenes work, behind the camera, the creative.
We'd love to have you on again.
We'd love to bring you back if you got the time.
Man, I'm ready. Whenever. I make sure I got better connection, all that, baby.
Perfect. I'm going to hold you to that. Thank you very, very much for joining us. Guys, make sure you are following Gabriel Cannon Music. I'm going to get him and Bear together so they can punch at each other. It's funny. Bear's a big guy, but you're 6'3", so you're taller than Bear. It's going to be fun.
It's a difference.
Bear jumped up.
He's
and tried
not
to bite him.
6'3" Snoop Dogg build. You know?
No, he's a big guy. Like you guys got to check him out. He's fantastic.
Snoop.
So thank you very, very much for joining us.
Man, thank you guys so much. I had a blast. Looking forward to the next one.
Perfect.
I look forward.
Take care, sir.
Now, guys, make sure you are following him. I'm the Baroness. We are on with my co-host, Snuggie McFuzzlebear.
Baddest bear in the cage.
That's not what I said.
Oh, pit stains. That's pit sweat.
And make sure you're following Gabriel Cannon. He's actually, I'm telling you, that guy is a rising star in his own right. He's incredible. Thank you, guys. He really does. He's really great. I watched, like I said, I was creepy. I watched him from a distance. He charms the room. We'll see you next week.
Good night.